Good evening. Tonight we again celebrate the power of the human voice and show once again that song can bring musical harmony, and at this time and in this place, world harmony under the big sky. Somewhat appropriate on a night when 50 years ago it was a human voice that really announced to us that one of our own had reached a foreign body in space. So my name is Ian Marquand. I'm once again honored to be your guide through tonight's tour of music from around the world. 32 years, that's how long it's been since the very first International Choral Festival in Missoula in 1987. Yes. That's when the Missoula Mendelssohn Club first welcomed choirs from other countries to sing, not for competition, but for the pure joy of it. Missoula welcomed those first choirs, and people here even opened their homes to the singers from far away. The International Choral Festival became a Missoula tradition, and now here we are again for another finale concert. Of course, the festival would not be possible without our loyal chorus of sponsors, volunteers, hosts, and friends. Tonight's finale concert is sponsored by First Security Bank and Kay Cassens. Let's show our appreciation. We also thank the staff of the University of Montana's Adams Center. Give them a round of applause, please. And special thanks to the U of M Celebration Brass Quintet, a scholarship ensemble made up of the university's top brass players. Our choir hosts, the Missoula host families, are an important part of each festival. Would all the hosts and their families that are here tonight stand up and be recognized? And some of you are super hosts, because you've been doing it for 10 years or more. Would you remain standing so we can honor you for your dedication? And we cannot do it without our hundreds of festival volunteers. Would you please stand if you're in the audience and not working somewhere? At this time, I'd like to recognize the leadership of this International Choral Festival. Artistic Director David Heidel, right down here in front of the stage. Executive Director Jennifer Cooper, walking in front, and her assistant Annie Davis. And President Tom Trigg and the festival's board of directors. Give them a round of applause as well. I know you want to get to the music, but a few housekeeping notes. Please turn off your cell phones or your beepers. If you need to leave your seat, we just ask that if you're leaving or returning, do so during applause. We do have an EpiPen here that was found at Bonner Park the other night. If this is yours, if you could come down here stage right, we'll try and get that to you. Also, there are surveys that the Choral Festival would like you to fill out and... Oh. All right, there are surveys that the Choral Festival would like you to fill out, and there are purple buckets like this scattered around, including out in the lobby. So if you get one of those surveys, please fill one out and drop it in the bucket. No video or audio recording during the concert, no smoking in the Adams Center. Please feel free to pick up some festival merchandise. We've got an EMT here on duty, so if you're having any sort of issue, look for one of the yellow shirted volunteers. I think that's it for housekeeping. So let us begin by welcoming the choirs of the 2019 International Choral Festival in the Parade of Nations. The region of Catalonia in Spain. Indonesia. The state of Montana. The state of California. the state of Arizona. And the choirs of Missoula, beginning with the Missoula Mendelssohn Club, as well as Dolce Canto, the Missoula Community Chorus, the Missoula Symphony Choral, the Montana Women's Chorus, and the Sweet Adelines. Can we please have another round of applause for the UM Celebration Brass Quintet? And now it's time for singing. Our first choir this evening is the founding choir of Missoula's festival, the Missoula Mendelssohn Club, which organized and sang at the very first International Choral Festival in 1987. It's truly a pleasure to have them back on the stage to kick off this finale concert. The choir is under the direction of Dean Peterson. Please welcome the Missoula Mendelssohn Club Choir.
Evening. Is this, oh, it is working. All right. It is really our great honor, the Missoula Mendelssohn Club, to be opening tonight's concert. Tonight we're going to sing two Western songs. The first one, pretty familiar to a lot of people in the audience, so if you're so inclined, you may sing along with us to Montana. Yeah, and following Montana, another Western song from the Broadway musical Paint Your Wagon, we'll be doing They Call the Wind Mariah. Thanks.
Thank you, Mendelssohn. Thank you, Mendelssohns. Not just for tonight, but for 32 years. Cantabile In Italian, it means music that is song-like or singable, and when describing choral music, it can mean smooth. Our next choir has incorporated the word cantabile into their name. So let's go from Montana to the southwestern United States and Phoenix, Arizona. Cantabile is one of 5 choirs created by the Phoenix Girls Chorus, a nonprofit organization for young women with more than 35 years of history. During its time, the Cantabile Ensemble has performed in the Vatican, in Wales, and at Carnegie Hall, among other places, and is well known in the Phoenix area. It's worth noting that Phoenix has contributed quite a bit to American music, even worldwide music. Performers like Stevie Nicks, Dierks Bentley, Alice Cooper, and American Idol winner Jordan Sparks. And if you consider the whole state of Arizona, you can include the likes of Linda Ronstadt and legendary jazz bassist Charles Mingus. Phoenix also has another remarkable musical attraction, and it's one that I personally recommend. The Musical Instrument Museum, or the MIM as it's known. It showcases all manner of instruments from around the world, as well as recordings and videos of them being played. And in the museum's Experience Gallery, you can even try your own hand at playing cantabile style. So with that, let's welcome Artistic Director Danya Tiller and the Phoenix Girls Chorus Cantabile.
I will heed my own.
From the Arizona desert, let's go to Europe and the far western portion of Germany, right at the border with France. The city of Saarbrücken actually used to be one of 3 separate towns which merged in 1909 into one city. It's the largest city in the German state of Saarland and serves as its state capital. Over its history, the Saarland area has been under the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, France, and Germany. Like Montana, Saarland is a coal-producing state. It's also a significant industrial center of Western Germany. The city has several cultural and architectural landmarks, including the 18th century Ludwigskirche, the Basilica of John the Baptist, and a joint French-German friendship garden. Not far away is a United Nations World Heritage Site that's rather unusual, the Volklingen Iron Works, a 150-year-old smelter that is now an industrial monument and science museum. Also from Saarbrücken, we're happy to welcome to Missoula the Darler Vocal Consort. This ensemble formed in 2008 as a collection of soloists. In their 10-plus years of existence, they've performed in Spain, in Sardinia, they've recorded CDs, and they've won awards. They even have a connection to a past international choral festival. 10 years ago, at the 2009 festival, members of the consort performed as part of the Kammerchor Saarbrücken. Today they are here under their own name, under founder and artistic director Georg Grun. Please welcome the Darler Vocal Consort. Let's now pay our first visit to Asia and the city of Shenzhen in southeastern China. You may not know that name, but you surely will recognize its southern neighbor, Hong Kong. Shenzhen is the urban link between Hong Kong and the main part of the People's Republic of China. It's a metropolis of about 13 million people, a far cry from its origins as a small railroad town in the Pearl River Delta. It became a city in 1979 and has grown rapidly over the past 40 years. It was China's first special economic zone, and its prominence as a technology hub has led to comparisons with California's Silicon Valley. It also has a reputation as an excellent place to visit. There are beaches, public parks, and a collection of theme parks with names like Window on the World, Happy Valley, and splendid China Folk Village. Musically, the city has its own symphony orchestra, and since 2001, the Shenzhen Yantian Foreign Language Primary School Children's Choir. As the name implies, the choir is made up of school children from 1st through 6th grade. During its 20 years of performing, the choir has made recordings and earned honors in Chinese and international choral festivals, including the World Choir Games held in China in 2010. Please welcome Artistic Director and Conductor Ji Li and the Shenzhen Yantian Foreign Language Primary School Children's Choir. Well, it may be Saturday night here in Missoula, but our next performers take their name from another night of the week, because in the town of Palmdale, California, Sunday night was rehearsal night, at least for the Sunday night singers. The group has been around since 2005 when it came together to sing at a birthday party. Today, the group counts 24 students and young professionals in its circle. Now, if you don't know where Palmdale is, think of Los Angeles and then go north across the San Gabriel Mountains into the high desert of the Antelope Valley. It's a place known for growing onions and for Edwards Air Force Base, which has a prominent place in the history of the United States space program. According to a history of California place names, Palmdale was founded when a group of Swiss and German Lutherans came to the area in the 1880s. They wanted to be close to the ocean, and according to the story, they'd been told to look for palm trees as a sign they were getting close. Well, these folks apparently had never seen a palm tree. So when they saw the high desert Joshua trees, they assumed they were palms. So they settled down and they called the place Palmental, which later became Palmdale. Today it's a city of a little over 150,000 people, and its neighboring city, Lancaster, has its own place in 20th century musical history as the childhood home of two eccentric musical personalities, Captain Beefheart and Frank Zappa. So tonight, let's welcome Palmdale's gift to our music scene, conducted by its founder, Michael McCullough. Here are the Sunday Night Singers.
turning, turning. Wheels are turning, turning. Yes, we're turning, turning, turning. People saw the wheel, yes, he saw the wheel. Way up, way up, in the middle, way up, in the
Well, now let's travel from the high desert of California to the shores of the Baltic Sea and the country of Lithuania, a country that's been under Russian and Soviet rule during its history, but which finally achieved lasting independence in 1990, even before the fall of the Soviet Union. Move inland from the sea into northern Lithuania, and you'll find the city of Choral. It's a city about the size of Billings and can trace its history to the 13th century. It's been an active sister city, and its sisters include Omaha, Nebraska. There's a fair amount to see in Choral, including historic churches, a photography museum, even a bicycle museum. But the one must-see place is a few miles north of the city. Its Lithuanian name is Kryžių kalnas, the Hill of Crosses, a place where pilgrims have come to place crosses, effigies, and rosaries for nearly 200 years. According to one estimate, the hill now has some 100,000 crosses densely packed into its relatively small land area. Choral claims a number of prominent classical musicians as its sons and daughters, and is home to the boys' choir Dēgulēlis, considered one of the leading choirs in the entire Baltic region. It's performed in Europe, China, and the United States, and has won honors, especially in its home country. Under the direction of its founder and conductor, Remigius Adomaitis, please welcome the boys' choir, Dēgulēlis. We'll stay in Europe for our next choir and go north across the Baltic Sea and into the Gulf of Bothnia that separates Finland from Sweden. We're traveling north in the Gulf along the west coast of Finland to the city of Vasa. It's very far north, just below the Arctic Circle, about the same latitude as Mount McKinley in Denali National Park in Alaska. Vasa can trace its history back more than 400 years and has had something of a traumatic history. In 1852, it nearly burned to the ground in a fire and had to be rebuilt in a more fire-resistant manner. It's been known by several names over the centuries, depending on whether Finns, Swedes, or Russians had the most influence. After the first Russian Revolution deposed the Tsar in 1917, the town adopted its current name of Vasa. It's an industrial center, The town itself a bit smaller than Missoula, but with its surrounding area pretty close to the population of the Missoula Valley. It boasts of hockey players, artists, and musicians who have lived there, and in 1974, the academic student choir Voces was formed at a local university. Its members come from multiple places of higher learning, performing a variety of musical genres. It's the choir's second visit to Missoula. It performed at the 2013 International Choral Festival. So please welcome conductor Maria Timoshenko and the academic student choir Voces. Well, after a long trip, it's always good to come home before setting off again. So let's return to Missoula. And since it's summer, we might enjoy out to lunch at Caras Park, or ice cream at the Dairy Queen or Big Dipper. We might climb to the M, take a walk along the Clark Fork, or maybe along Rattlesnake Creek in Greeno Park. We might sit in a lawn chair or on a blanket in Bonner Park for a city band concert, or maybe we should enjoy some hometown singing courtesy of the University of Montana. Now, I don't need to tell you the role that UM has played in Missoula's cultural life. Our next performers continue that legacy. The University of Montana Chamber Choral is the premier touring choral ensemble at UM School of Music, with both undergrad and graduate students. Now, some are music and theater majors, but you'll also find singers studying geology, chemistry, and pharmacy in other parts of the campus. So let's settle in for some of Missoula's best with Director Corrine Duffy at the controls. Please welcome the University of Montana Chamber Choral. Dr. Duffy is going to join me for something special. We have a raffle. You've seen the prizes out in the lobby. So the first one is a queen-size quilt made by the Missoula Women's Chorus. So Dr. Duffy, would you pick a name? And we have Patrice Pratt of Missoula. Okay, next up, yeah, that's fine. Next up, we have a print by Odette Grassi. And the winner is Maureen O'Malley of Missoula. Lastly, a table runner and baby quilt made by Suzanne Sterrett. And the winner is Mark Whittle of Missoula. Thank you, Dr. Duffy, very much.
Like a ship and failures, stand by me. In the midst of faults and failures, stand by me. When I do the best I can, and my friends misunderstand, thou who knowest all about me, stand by me. In the midst of persecution, stand by me. In the midst of persecution, stand by me. When my foes in battle array undertake to stop my way, thou who never lost a battle, thou who knowest all about me, thou who rulest wind and water, stand by me.
Well, now that we've returned to Missoula for a bit, let's return to the Baltic region of Northern Europe and the home of the singing revolution, Estonia. Linked arm in arm and singing loud, Estonians used music to spur their drive from independence from the former Soviet Union in 1991. If you've attended past editions of the International Choral Festival, you've heard the outstanding Estonian choirs who have performed here. And you no doubt have learned that Estonians love to sing. In fact, our next performers come from the birthplace of the Estonian Song Festival, the city of Tartu in the interior of the country. Like Missoula, Tartu lies along a river, the Emajogi, or Mother River. It is home to a major university. It's also a prominent city in Estonian government, home to the country's Supreme Court and its National Museum. Tartu's Science Center is a must-see for visitors, especially its planetarium, which offers a complete spherical view of the heavens made possible by its glass floor, so you can see the stars above and below. Tartu is also home to our next performers, the Eller Girls Choir. Formed in 2010 as an ensemble of high school and college singers, the choir has performed in Europe and earned prizes. This current edition has been together since 2016. Please welcome founder and conductor Q. Lee Loco and the Eller Girls Choir.
puhkasta puhujaa, taas soudata Buddha sampo, kirjukane kirjatella. Julieta solesta, teko brändidesta, odraivasta kesestä, suvivona villadesta. Sisa palkaks me unore, tõesti truku toreda. Sisa palkaks me unore, tõesti truku toreda. See oli see paimarine, isegi sõnad kõnele, suudan küll taguda sampo, suudan küll taguda sampo, kirjukane kõksutella, kirjukane kõksutella. Legenda solesta, teko brändidesta, odraivast väikesesta, suvivona villadesta. Kui olen taevast idapoolud, ilma karta lüpsutanud, kui enne midagi me polnud, nõnda ju midagi valmis. Läksid apodada kuuma, kirjukanta kirjatama, küsis sepapajan paika, küsis sepapajan paika, otsis separistasid, otsis separistasid, ei ole sepapajan paika, ei ole sepapajan paika, ei ole rista, ei ole lütsa, ei ole rista, ei ole lütsa, ei ole alasid, ei ahju, ei ole alasid, ei ahju, ei ole vasaragi vaata, ei ole vasaragi vaata. Siit saab see paimarine, sõnalistest nii kõnele. Täna seiseb need kahel kuukäpad, kes kelgab, kes tagu, mitte mees minusugune, tõsisemgi teistest sangad. Otsis ahju ja seeta, kohta laia lütsadelle, neelama ja manderella, põhjapõldude tagana. Otsis päeva, otsis teise, otsis päeva, otsis teise, päevalla ja kolmandalla, päevalla ja kolmandalla. Liivismägi vigireva, liivismägi vigireva, kalluuret karinga polla, kalluuret karinga polla. Sinna sepa seisad keelid, taguja tule ja seekab päevas ja teised sa seinu, teise ahju taenirkab. Siis saab see paimarine, higi taibukas taguja, ajan saine enne tulle, tagu asjad ahju sisse, palun nii tunned sun maie, palun nii tunned sun maie, hiili täna maie, hiili täna maie, seasis lõtsusid need tuuled, seasis lõtsusid need tuuled, iga lõtsus läsi lõtsus, iga lõtsus läsi lõtsus, vesikase võimsad voogas, vesikase võimsad voogas, põhise vägevad pingus, põhise vägevad pingus, lõtsuspäeva lõtsus teise, lõtsuspäeva lõtsus teise, lõtsus korras kolmandagi, lõtsus korras kolmandagi, aknast ta tuli tuiskas, aknast ta tuli tuiskas, ukse vahet säde sätis, ukse vahet säde sätis, tolmu taevaani tõusis, tolmu taevaani tõusis, sõitsu pilvedeni kergis, sõitsu pilvedeni kergis. See on see paimarine, pärast kolmanda ma sampo valmiiksi, kiljukasi kauniiksi. Kui sai sampo valmiiksi, kiljukasi kauniiksi. Kas saab nüüd minule neidu, kas saab nüüd minule neidu, kas saab neidu, ripik jubleb.
Well, now let's go from the cool northern climate of the Baltic Sea to the equator and the Southeast Asian island nation of Indonesia. Specifically, the island of Java and the city of Jakarta, a metropolis of some 10 million people and the capital of the world's largest island country, with more than 17,000 individual islands. Jakarta's name means victorious city and refers to the ousting of the Portuguese in the 16th century. It also was called the Queen of the Orient during British colonial rule. If you like museums and cultural attractions, Jakarta has a lot to offer, including 140 different museums. And you can experience all the regions of Indonesia in one place, in the Taman Mini Indonesia Indah theme park. You can shop in traditional markets, gleaming, sparkling indoor malls, stroll through the heart of the British colonial Jakarta in the Batavia district, and musically, quite a bit to choose from. Probably the most recognized form of Indonesian music is the gamelan ensemble of tuned percussion and flute. But Jakarta is home to several classical orchestras, as well as thriving pop, rock, and even jazz genres. And it has choirs. And among the best is the group you're about to hear, the Batavia Madrigal Singers. In fact, it claims to be the only choir from Indonesia to win awards in the European Grand Prix of choral singing. Under the direction of its founder and director, Avip Priyatna, please welcome the Batavia Madrigal Singers. Well, from one vibrant part of the world to another. Let's visit a region that has hosted a Summer Olympic Games and has one of the most famous soccer teams in the world, the region of Catalonia in the far northeast corner of Spain. Catalonians are fiercely proud of their culture, their Catalan language, and their regional heritage. The hub of the region is the city of Barcelona, with architecture by the brilliant Antoni Gaudí, and cultural attractions including the Picasso Museum. The world has come to Barcelona more than once for sporting events, notably the 1982 World Cup Soccer Tournament and the 1992 Summer Olympics. Soccer fans know FC Barcelona as one of the most successful football clubs in the world, and opera fans know about its world-famous Liceu Opera House. Our next choir has performed in that venue, as well as performance halls in its hometown of Granollers, just outside Barcelona. The choir began at a music school named Amics de la Unió, Friends of the Union in the Catalan language. Its full name, Beius Cor Infantil Amics de la Unió, means, you see, the children's choir of the Friends of the Union. 2 years ago, it was chosen as one of the 24 best choirs in the world for the World Symposium of Choral Music, conducted by its founder, Josep Vila Jové. Please welcome Beius, Cor Infantil Amics de la Unió. Now, there is more to come, but in order to set up for the next part of our program, we need to take about a 5-minute break, do some resetting of the stage. So this is a great time to stand up and stretch. Don't go too far. It'll only be a few minutes. We'll be back, and you'll get to hear the entire massed chorus of the Choral Festival sing together. So, back in about 5. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about ready for our final portion of the program. And you know, we have just heard again this evening more proof that music is the unifying, universal language that speaks to people all across the globe. Thank you, choirs. You all sounded fantastic, and you look great. In fact, you look so good, I got to get a picture. Is that all right? Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Katie Patton for a special presentation. Katie?
Thank you, Ian. I'm actually a representative of the Board of Arts Missoula, and I only want to take a minute of your time. Some of you may be familiar with Arts Missoula. We put on several festivals around town like First Night, German Fest. We are manage the Sister City program for Missoula. We do the annual Arts and Culture Awards Lunch. But what we also do is advocate in general in the public to support art and cultural activities in this community. And one of the ways that we do that is by acknowledging those people who make important contributions to the Missoula arts landscape by giving their valuable time and resources. So think of the many artists and musicians. I think this room is filled with musicians, singers probably mostly, business people and educators who visibly make a difference, but also I want you to think about the people volunteering behind the scenes, making an incredible contribution without public awareness. And they all have a place in the galaxy of valued Missoula art supporters. So we developed an award every month that we've been honoring one of these people with the Arts Missoula Star Award. In fact, I know there are several previous winners already in the room tonight. But we're going to honor a festival volunteer tonight who has been giving her time to the festival since 2003. She does a lot of fundraising and volunteer coordination. She has hosted guests every festival since 2003 and has helped organize housing since 2006. In fact, she served as the lead on housing. This is probably giving away who it is. She served as the lead on housing in 2016 and did it again this year. So for everyone who is staying in a guest house, we have this person to thank. She's also served as a board member since 2009, and she is currently the vice president of the board of the International Choral Festival. So she currently sings with the Symphony Choral, and she's been in musical productions with MCT. She's been in Missoula for 18 years and is clearly a big supporter of the arts. So please join me in showing our appreciation for one of these Missoula stars, Janet Palmer. Does anyone know where Janet is? I would like to thank you, Janet.
Thank you
You
very
do an
much.
incredible amount of work. I'm sure this,
Oh my gosh, sorry, I hate public speaking. I like the behind the scenes. First of all, as many of you know, I've said often, I think this should be the Missoula International Festival, and that alone would make me very happy. But then I come and hear the beautiful music, and I cry, and I just love it. So I thank you all for letting me be a part of this. This is amazing. This is what is so special about the world of bringing us together. Sorry, I get emotional. It's been a long week, so thank you very much, and thank you for coming and sharing your beautiful music, and for all the host families. I love it. Thank you so very much.
Now let's welcome a founder of the International Choral Festival, Mr. Don Carey, who will conduct, yeah, go ahead and applaud. Come on up, guys. Don will conduct the International Choral Festival Combined Choir, made up of all of our visiting festival choirs, as well as members of our Missoula choirs, together singing Mozart's Ave Verum Corpus.
Well, I'd like to ask the choir to stand. I would like to add am I there? I'd like to add my thanks and recognition of some people, in addition to those we've already mentioned this evening, and that would be, do you understand how difficult it is to get a group of people like this together? It's because of the hard work of their families back home. So thank you to your parents, friends, and countries for getting you here this evening. Congratulations. Another little item that I didn't mention to the chorus yesterday in rehearsal is that a number of years ago, I acquired this, which is a facsimile of Mozart's own first copy of Ave Verum Corpus. He wrote this one time, not a mistake, not an erasure, nothing corrected. It was all exactly the way he wanted it the first time, including this little rip right up here. The Austrians are very careful about authenticity. So we have that. It's here. I won't use it, but I will add that it was for probably 8, 9 string players and organ, and a giant chorus of 12 or 14 people. Now, we've got a job ahead of us to make our wonderful group of singers sound like 14 instead of 900. A man by the name of Dr. Charles Burney, Englishman, undertook several trips around Europe in the early 1800s, and his mission was to visit every place in Europe that Mozart had traveled to. Now that's a job, because Mozart, when he was young, along with his sister, were taken by the father and mother to many, many places in Europe to try to interest the royal families in becoming sponsors, patrons. Well, quite by accident this summer, I was in Europe with my wife Charlene and my daughter Suzanne over there, and I had a little Oedipal journey myself. We visited, for instance, the house where Mozart was born in Salzburg, Austria. We visited the house in Vienna where he wrote Marriage of Figaro. We we went to the Zentralfriedhof, the central cemetery, to visit where he is buried, and incidentally, in a circular area, along with some other names you might know, we have Schubert, Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, Strauss, Zemlinsky, and on and on and on, all in Vienna. I told the chorus yesterday that this music of one of the greatest minds that ever lived, this creation, can only exist in our throats. That's a hell of a responsibility. And I am personally honored, along with this group of wonderful singers, to bring you from the brain through our throats, Mozart.
Now our World Harmony Choir will sing Musik Kanten Kanon by composer Jens Roer, conducted by Dean Peterson. Now please welcome the recently retired director of the Missoula Community Chorus, Mr. Ron Wilcott, to lead the Mass Choir in Dona Nobis Pacem.
We'd also like to ask the audience to sing along if you know it. We're going to do it complete once in unison and then break into three parts with the sopranos and folks on this wall as part one, then the altos and folks on this wall as part two, and then the men and folks along the back as part three. We'll just do it a few times. Watch, I'll give you a cutoff when we're done.
Oh
And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the musical director of the International Choral Festival, Mr. David Heidel, who will introduce our final vocal selection of the evening.
Yeah, this is the sad time where we have to say goodbye to new friends, but also hello to new friends. First of all, Ian, don't go too far. This man has been our MC since 2003, and he has desired to live closer to his family in California. And so we're going to do everything we can to make sure he plans his vacations in July of 2022. But thank you, Ian, from all of us. I have to also thank a very dear friend and our accompanist tonight on piano, Diana Piccini-Bauer. So yes, we say goodbye, we say thank you all, whether you be a family of hosts, whether you be from far away as Massachusetts that's here, or faraway lands as well. You are part of our festival. You what makes our festival. Don Carey, thank you so much. You added so much to our festival. Without you, we wouldn't have a festival. Auld Lang Syne. We all sing this together once, all the way through, and then we sing it once again. Audience, you are more than welcome, and please, please join us. So, Auld Lang Syne, thank you all.
One more.